Okay, today we are going to read Langston Hughes from 1902 to 1967. So Langston Hughes was an American poet, novelist, playwright, and social activist. He was also a leading figure in the Harlem Renaissance. Harlem Renaissance is the 20th century of the golden age of African American cultures, arts, theater, and writers and poets. That's when they call it the golden age for African American writers. So he was a leading figure around the Harlem Renaissance, a social politics movement of Black artists in Harlem, New York. In this poem, the speaker comments on prejudice he faces. So, as you read, and I want you to take notes to the speaker's thought about the future. So, let's read poem titled I Too by Langston Hughes, 1926. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody's deal. Nobody will dare to say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they will see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I, too, am America. Wow. This poem actually is really good poem by Langston Hughes. So it's a cry out. Basically, it's a lash out to Walt Whitman, who wrote I I hear America singing. This is a Walt Whitman is a famous poet, American poet, and often called the father of verse. Okay. Walt Whitman wrote this poem called I Hear America Singing. The varied carols I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his it should be, blithe and strong. Basically, in this poem, I'm not going to read the whole poem. That's not what I'll focus on today. Walt Whitman wrote this poem and said that he hears America singing. When he talk about America singing, this is what he say America singing. He say he hear the mechanics, he hear the carpenters, he hear the masons, he hear the boatmen's, the deckmen singing, the shoemaker, the wood cutters. So he said all these varied voices. And when he wrote this poem in 1855 is 5 years before the Civil War. The Civil War, which the North and the South were fighting against, of course, the North won. This is why African American, Black, colored people have freedom today because of the North won the Civil War. So Walt Whitman wrote this poem that he hear all these beautiful voices. In this poem, he mentioned nothing about African American made America the beautiful it is today. So when um, Lance, Lance, Langston Hughes see what women wrote, he said, what about we are. He said, I too sing America. In his poem, he said, I am too an American. And he said, I am the darker brother, which he said, I am a black member of the family, the first line. I am the black member of the family, the same family. And he said, they send me to eat in the kitchen. What he's saying, he said, they tell me I have to eat alone in the kitchen. See, the word just alone is a separations where segregations. He said, and the poem itself is start with a personal pronoun, I, to sing America. I, he, at the very beginning of the poem, the first word I, he makes it very personal. He said, I am the darker brother. They send in who's they? That's another pronoun. That's a plural personal pronoun. They means the white people. They send me to eat in the kitchen. Who they? The people that treated him unfairly, that treated black unfairly, which is the racist white people. They send me to eat alone in the kitchen. He say, when company comes, when company comes, basically he say, when the people come for dinner, but he say, but I laughed. He say, I eat well and grow strong. He say, even they send him in the kitchen to eat alone, but he's still gonna have a good time in the kitchen, and that will make him stronger as a person. That will make him grow stronger as a person. Even on the guiding questions, if you see here, the guiding questions, which I'm not gonna do, is for you, us to do together. And so he say, I'm still gonna have a good time in the kitchen all by myself. And then he said, tomorrow in the future, he said, I'll be at the table when company comes. Basically, you treat me all bad, or you could come in the future. Tomorrow in the future. He said, I will sit at the table when they have people come for dinner. He said, no one would dare to tell me to eat alone in the kitchen. No one would dare to tell me to eat in the kitchen. Right now, he's just like, hey, he have somebody. He said, even though you treat me, he said, all those bad days, all this bad time that he's having, eat alone in the kitchen, make him stronger. And in the future, he said, I would dare not to call you, tell me. He said, nobody would dare to eat me in the kitchen. It reminds me what we have today. We have an African American president of the United States, and now we have a female black president of the United States, you know. So I could say Kamala Harris, who is vice president of the United States right now, she is at the table. She is at the table. Tomorrow I'll be at the table. Remind me, you know, when Martin Luther King says, I may not dare to see the promised land, but you will see the promised land. I said, tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. He said, I'll be at the table. So, and then he went and go ahead on line 15. He said, besides, he said, anyway, he said, they'll see how beautiful I am. So he said, they will see that I am beautiful. Now he telling you, like, you know, I am worthy, I am beautiful. And he say, then when they see what he's capable of doing, they will be the one that ashamed. He say, be ashamed. You'll be the one ashamed. He say, I am an American. I too am American. So he said, I am an American. So in this stanza here, it say the speaker, they force them to eat in the kitchen. In the kitchen, they force them to eat in the kitchen. This is a extended metaphor. of segregation, separation, where slaves were separated from their family, from their loved one, from their children, you know. And then two, the word two, let me see right here. I two already like a second class citizen right here. I too sing America, you know. So two, second side despite you'd say I am a second class citizen, he say I will still laugh and eat well and would be strong. So he say in the future, basically he's in the future, white people can no longer ignore his strength. They can no longer ignore the contributions that black African American made for this country. That's what he said, I to an American. And let's go back to Walt Whitman, where he says that, you know, the mechanics make the America, the carpenters make the America, the boatmen's, nothing about African American that makes America beautiful. He say, we too make an America. I too in America. I'm America. So this is a beautiful poem. And also, if you look at that poem too, what you can say, so this Walt Whitman wrote his poem 1855. So it's 5 years before the Civil War, which was 1865, 61 to 1865. And, you know, so what else I could say? Yes. So basically, this poem, I Too Sing America, you know, is back then when people writing to each other, they respond back to a writer, to a writing, to response to what the previous person wrote. So basically what he's telling Walt Whitman here, so you not the only the white people are not the only people that make America. I too, in America, you have to recognize the contributions America the contribution that a Black American contribute to this country too. That's why he say I did an I, very personal. He started with an I, personal pronoun, and he ended with the personal pronoun I too am America. I am in America. He's claiming that almost like I say today, like the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement, like I to America. And then in current things we could say today, the Black Lives Matter. I to an America. I am matter. I am an American. Black Lives Matter. We made America beautiful too. Not just white people, not just the mechanic, not just what Walt Whitman says. And you got to know, before that time too, that was like before the 14th Amendment, when they actually put all men are equal, are created equal in this country. So, and you know, black people were not in that picture. They was not figured as a, like, you know, like persons, you know. We were still considered like property. Black people were still considered as sole property. So what he say, I to an America. So I hope you learned something in this poem. So we'll talk more about it and we'll go over the guiding questions. So as you can see, the guiding question, first one, the speaker is sent into the kitchen because of a color of his skin. He works in the kitchen. He doesn't know, you know, the company. So it's for you to work out. And I will see you later.